Yo, what's good, ladies and gentlemen? So, I'm bringing Maximilian dude in this video, but before we get into that, a friend of mine and I was talking about guest characters for Mortal Kombat, considering that Ed Boon released a little teaser, I guess you call it, not a trailer, but showcasing possibilities of guest characters when it comes to Halloween characters. I said characters a lot, but they show Ghostface, Halloween. I can't remember who else they showed, but point is, after seeing that, a friend of mine and I was talking about what was in all the Mortal Kombat since MK9, what was the best guest characters in Mortal Kombat, and I was going back and forth, and I was like, dang, I gotta think about that. Like, I had to rethink who was all the guest characters, and then I wanted to research on YouTube. Was anybody else talking about this? Sure enough, one of my favorite YouTubers is talking about it. This video is pretty long. Oh man, it's like 39 minutes. Goodness gracious. So I'm gonna make this quick. I'm gonna give on the top of my head. He's as long as this video is, I'm pretty sure he's gonna go through the whole list. But from the top of my head, off the top, I would have to say top three would have to be Predator. Who else I said? Yeah, I said Predator, Spawn. Who else did I say? I said Predator, Spawn, and Joker. Those are my top three off the top of my head. Spawn and Predator were right there between 1 and 2. I like Spawn because that was a character I wanted for a while. Character model's nice. Combos are nice. But Predator, like his combo sets in MKX is top tier. The setups you do, everything. I love. To be real, I like every variation of Predator in Mortal Kombat X. So because of that, and I'm more for the combos than just how the character looks, I've taken Predator, but Spawn's right there, and then Joker was a lot better than what I thought he was going to be. Personally, I liked all the characters. I don't know a character in my head. I'll see more. Maybe I'm missing one, but from the top of my head, everybody that I think Alien, Leatherface, RoboCop. I don't know why people didn't like RoboCop or Rambo. I liked it. I don't see nothing wrong with them. They just had a different play style. Freddy. I'd never played. The one I never played with was Kratos. I never used him, so I can't judge that. But yeah, let's see what Maximilian Dude has to say. This video is gonna be a long one, but let's go ahead and get into it.
One thing that I think
can't hear. By the way, shout out to Maximilian Dude. If y'all haven't yet, which I'm pretty sure I did, but if you haven't yet, please subscribe to him. If you like that, well, he does. I was about to say if you like the FGC gameplay, but he does a lot more than that.
Easily, one of the most excitable portions of modern Mortal Kombat is clearly guest characters. We know the guest characters that are going to be showing up for MK1, right? To look back, we don't know how they're going to play. I want to look back, going to Mortal Kombat 9, because that's where guest characters technically start.
Yeah.
MK versus DC doesn't count because it's Mortal Kombat and DC
Yeah,
characters.
that doesn't.
9 is like the first big one, where they were like, oh, no, we're just going to pull characters from movies.
Oh,
and
I forgot. I'm going to try not to pause as much as I'm going to try to pause very little here because the video is long. But someone did ask, and I forgot to answer it. What are the guest characters I'm looking forward to that they showcased already? Omni-Man, Homelander, all that other stuff. I would say Homelander because I want to. In the back of my head, I have a feeling they're gonna make him like Superman in Injustice 2. Obviously, a little more brutal, but in that kind of realm. And I'm curious to see how his playstyle is. Omni-Man will be second. Peacemaker, I haven't watched anything Peacemaker outside of Suicide Squad. So I don't know what to expect from that. And of course, the other characters are like Quan Chi, all that stuff. That's combat character. I'm talking about guest characters. Yeah, I'll have to say Homelander, just to answer your question.
Franchises into the world of Mortal Kombat. I think this offers us a pretty unique opportunity to look at the past incarnations of guest characters going back to MK9.
All right, let's get this video's long. Let's get to the characters.
Exclusive. And yes, Kratos was a playable dude in Mortal Kombat 9. Unfortunately, you know, it's Kratos, so it was locked to one version of the game.
That's why, because I'm sitting here like, why didn't I play with Kratos? Because I played MK9, but I didn't. I had it on Xbox.
Man, if you could include a character on a Mortal Kombat game, the first technical guest character, yeah, that's probably like one of the best ones. In my opinion, I think Kratos, if we're talking about like appearance of the character in general, I think Kratos is like perfect fit and probably 10 out of 10. Like such a good call to stick this dude.
Yeah, I wouldn't know. I'm not going to judge
However,
it. I'll take his word for it. I've never played with Kratos. Let's move forward because I haven't played with Kratos.
Instead is the first foray of MK actually getting horror icon franchise characters into the mix, and it was Freddy Krueger. Freddy was in
I actually liked his
MK
playstyle.
9. I'm trying to like balance my own personal opinion with this by like how big of a deal this is.
I really enjoyed it. That was someone I enjoyed.
My personal take on Freddy being in the game was not like an immediate like wow, like hell yeah.
It was shocking.
So
I was like, wow, but it makes sense in the Mortal Kombat world. The dark,
best,
brutal
like,
world. Freddy Krueger would work.
Because he's like a nightmare demon or some shit. I've never seen a movie. But it doesn't feel like he's like the most premium like fighting game sort of like character. Because seeing Freddy jumping around.
I miss MK9, bro. That was a good
all this
game.
kind of stuff. It's like, to me, that doesn't fit as much without like his weird hellish dreamscape, right? To me, it's like kind of, I don't know. He kills people, but to see him like doing backflips and shit, like, huh?
I mean, it's Mortal Kombat. You gotta.
As much as like other
he's already a
that I felt
science
like
fictional character, so you can make some things fake.
He comes across as
when
like
it comes to the flips,
kind of goofy, a little goofy. It's not that weird. No,
I forgot about that move where he puts his claws in the ground and it comes up.
I'm saying I think Freddy for me was like an 8. And I feel for a lot of other people, it's like the most premium, like, goddamn, he's amazing. It's the greatest inclusion
It was
ever.
fun. It was definitely fun.
Other horror characters might have fit a little bit better, right? Just been a little bit more natural in terms of their inclusion overall. I mean, he's a killer. He's a killer and a demon guy, but he's also like, you know, if anything, I would have liked to see him transform into like nightmarish hellscape stuff. I think that's my.
What would that look like though? Thinking about it, I want to talk and not pause too much because the video is kind of long. But
he only uses his cutty hands and he shoots blades from cutty hands and he punches you with them. Stabby McStabs a lot. He's like kind of like a different. He's like Edward fucking Scissorhands. Yes, I think that's my only problem with him.
That's a good point. Yeah, it's a good point.
His potential could have been utilized much better, you know. And even a character like Kratos, I feel like goes a bit deeper into like, oh, look at all this Kratos gameplay.
Seeing Jade is so funny to see a lot of people.
If we want to talk about like gameplay stuff,
really saying that Jade needs to come to MK1, but before in MK11, people did not like her, did not want her to be in the game. Now that she's not in MK1, people are complaining about it. It's funny how people just switch.
Next to, I think, maybe Kenshi, the most ultimate zoner. Like the most.
All right, let's keep moving. There was only 2 guest characters in MK9, right?
Who was the first big guest character of MKX? And it was Jason.
I was about to say either Jason or was it Predator and I can't remember who was the first show up. I like Jason. That was the first one I ever tried.
Jason's inclusion is like a 10 out of 10.
Yes.
Number 1. We're talking about perfect horror character franchise icons that can be in here.
I loved how they kept it realistic with him not talking, not even making any noise.
It also
you know how people when they get hit, they're like, ooh, but he don't make none of that.
Variations of the character that are wild. And gameplay wise, he's insane.
Yes.
So he gets one variation that has an axe, right? His big old gut knife.
His machete.
And that one is like the straightforward one. Still is pretty crazy.
That was the one I used the most.
Like
my friend of mine uses the one, I can't remember what it's called, but where he uses his ability to heal. He would be annoying people online because the battle would be this close, and he'll sit there and heal and back up and block and get like not half his health, but a nice amount. He'll have a lot of people rage quit for doing that.
Stuff where he can literally break his neck. The screen turns red.
Yeah, I remember that.
Your controls are reversed.
Yeah.
He has a teleport and the other variations where he is literally always behind you whenever he wants to be.
That damage boost he has as well. I forgot what it's called, but he goes like this. Has a damage boost.
Existed for Jason in the past. They turned it into gameplay stuff. It was so sick, man.
They did a good job with that.
It was just bonkers by how much stuff he had.
Yeah, grappling, like everything about him, from my remembrance, was really good.
Make an entire like movie about like Jason coming and killing us and stuff while playing Mortal Kombat.
You know who I like seeing playing as
So I gotta
Jason
give,
is Super
like,
on
pretty
YouTube.
huge
He knew how to
shout
play
out.
Jason
I
really
think
well.
This is easily one of
Yep,
the
that
best
right there.
characters in MK, and gameplay wise,
Look at that. Look at that
also
damage. Look at that
ridiculously
damage.
fun. 3 variations.
66.
That wildly change things.
All
and
because of
super
that
fun.
extra damage
I
boost,
think
bro.
Jason visually also looks really cool. He's got some like goofy looking stuff because MKX does have some goofy looking animation.
Yeah, Jason was really
Like,
good.
dude.
Man, hold up. No, he doesn't beat the top 3 yet.
Just
Predator,
absolutely
Spawn,
10
and
out of 10
Joker
character.
were very special for
Too
me.
good. So that leads us to, this feels like I'm being super biased, but I'm being real here. I'm being real. MKX got the second character in the form of the best guest character of all time, literally. The
Ooh.
Predator became playable in Mortal Kombat.
There we go.
And I feel like some people
Yeah,
don't realize how big of a deal
He
this
knows.
was
He knows.
for me. When it
Predator
happened
is
back
very
in
special.
2015. This was the second inclusion.
Dang, it was
And I remember
2015.
asking
Dang, it's
around
been that
early,
long.
I was like trying to get information. I'm like, so is he fun? Did they give him a lot of sauce and like
Oh
all these
man,
things? And the
he
very
he's a,
early things
oh
was
man, I
hearing
would
about
not be
Predator
mad if
was,
they bring
like,
him right
pretty
if they
good.
bring him
So I was
back
like, oh,
just the
shit.
way he was in
Maybe he's
MKX.
actually
Oh,
gonna
that would be
be-
awesome.
maybe he's actually
I would
gonna
pay
be
money for that
super
alone.
fun. He's absolutely ridiculous in this game. He's arguably Hishku 10 Predator, high execution, but one of the best characters in the game.
Yes.
So there's the Hishku 10 version, the one that uses a
In
a
every
plasma
Mortal
caster to
Kombat, I
shoot.
think he's the he's the
This
best.
one is maskless.
Yeah, when it comes to combos, everything, style,
This one has
everything. I'm talking about style with the
a
combos.
trap that whips you up in a net and does some Predator 2 style stuff. But the cool part about it was this character was a direct homage to the best Predators there were.
Yes.
Which was Predator 1 and 2. Every single thing the character does is from Predator 1 and 2.
And shout out
which
to
is
Super
good. They don't try
and
to,
Sonic
add
Fox for
any of the
showing different
weird
combo
new Predator
potentials
shit.
with them.
You have a
It
10
was
out of
so
10
entertaining
character,
just watching
straight up.
them
And then
explore
you have
different things.
Arguably one of the sickest gameplay characters,
Yes.
literally in Mortal Kombat
Hands
history.
down, to this
I'm
day.
being real. We're gonna gush about it later. Predator combos are wild. Predator neutral is wild.
Yes.
Let's
Hopefully he
just look
shows
at
like
some
a Super
footage.
or Sonic 5. Oh wait, is that
See
Sonic 5?
How
Oh, here we
this
go.
gameplay of this character looks like. Hishku 10 versus Hunter Predator, and Fox like was playing Hunter Predator.
I
a
love
lot.
Hunter Predator. That's
It
my
is
favorite.
So dope, and every version is so much different.
Yes,
than the
there was
other
not
ones,
a bad
where
version,
you're
but I
really
like Hunter
playing
better.
Two different characters constantly.
The mix-ups,
And I
the
think
trap,
visually-
everything, bro.
It is one of the best looking characters in the game as well.
Look at this, look at this, look at this, look at this. And then throw him right on the track. Oh, that was beautiful.
losing it.
Kick him one more. Yep.
It doesn't stop
That's
there.
insane. He did that in
Just losing it,
tournament,
the
bro.
Sonic Fox combo.
Sonic Fox, bro. Look at
I think
it.
it's an 11.
Nowhere
out
to
of 10.
go. Goodness gracious. If you don't guess right, you was in
To
trouble.
be real, I think the character is so good and so well realized. Predator might end up being one of the best guest characters of all time.
Yes, and that Mount
Kuma
Rushmore,
and Tekken,
Predator is there.
Although that might come with some arguments. So Predator is also
Who's arguing against
hilariously
that?
enough.
Who's debating
another
that?
10 out of 10 guest character.
Yes. I don't
How
know
did they
any
do
flaw
it
with
again?
Predator.
It's wild to me.
I don't know any
Mortal
flaw.
Kombat directly looks to myself for influence. So they're like, you know what? Let's make Alien versus Predator a reality.
That
And
people
we're
was
gonna
going. It was
stick
back and
the
forth with Alien.
Alien
I personally
into
liked, especially when you use the
Mortal
trap.
Kombat X for the second
I
season
forgot what
for
it's
Mortal
called, but it
Kombat
jumps on your
XL.
face. I
It's
like that. I
also,
like that brutality as well.
Relatively pretty goddamn amazing. I think there are some things that are lacking here. Here's the thing. Do I think Alien is another 10 out of 10 guest character appearance? I don't.
I ain't
think
gonna
he's
say
about
10 out of
an
10.
8.
7.
He's kind of
I'll push
blocked
8 out of
in this
10,
game.
but
There's several
yeah,
factors that
he's
go
real. I
into
enjoy him though.
Alien not being the best. I think visually he looks a little off. I think there is some parts of him that don't exactly look
Looks off.
amazing. 10 out of 10 in style, I don't agree. I think he's lacking.
No, I would
some
say,
very-
well, 10 out of 10.
He
His style
looks
is really
like a
good.
dude.
Fighting style,
And that
that's what he's
worked
talking
out for
about.
the Predator, but the thing with the Alien is that most of the time the aliens you see in movies, they're very quick cuts. They don't let you see them for very long. It just looks like a guy in an alien suit like slapping around. So it looks just a little off. In the Predator's case, that's perfect because that's exactly what the Predator is.
I understand
But,
what
you
he's
know,
saying.
the
I like
always
Alien
has
style, but I see
function
what he's
in
saying.
Film, by you not seeing them all the time. Now you're seeing them all the time, and it's just constantly in front of your face. And I think some parts of it still look really good, but ultimately, you know, they had to like cut off his head, dude. So Alien also suffers from the same problem.
He controls down four and puts down fours, yeah.
The exact same problem that Freddy suffered from.
What's that?
And it's that he was too good. The character had two variations that were bonkers busted. Acid Alien was crazy good at the start.
Yes, yes.
And believe it or not, like the one that was even more broken was the Tarkatan version, which he had like a Rekka. And
yes.
Rekkas in Mortal Kombat X were just insanely good, dude. They had to balance the holy hell out of them.
That's right.
So
I forgot about that. They did a nice patch on Alien, but he was still good after.
Variation of him is the Hive version, which summons eggs and.
That's my favorite. I love the Hive.
That one's really cool, but it's clearly like the hardest one to use.
Yeah, but it's worth it to me.
Alien hits as much as Predator, in terms of a playable character, and it shows because even I have not played Alien that much. Maybe like a 7. And I think it's
that's fair. Like I said,
like
7 or 8.
But I don't think Alien hits nearly as well as Predator or
who else
Jason
is in MKX?
Overall,
oh, Leatherface
and
like a
7.5 or an 8 or something like that in terms of an appearance. I think it's
just Leatherface next. That one's going to be in the middle. It was fun to use Leatherface, but it was nothing too special about him.
Get a game.
All right, let's keep it moving.
And if we're going to talk about one guest character that
he was fun.
I was the least excited for in this game, it was definitely Leatherface.
I forgot what variation it was, but the one where you just keep throwing the chainsaw, that was fun.
Like, yeah.
I forgot he had makeup on his face.
Why didn't they put in Mike Myers? And apparently you find out later, we talked about this before with Freddy, that yeah, Mike Myers was a licensing thing, that apparently they wanted to do it. I'd say like overall, being really, it hits for some people.
I'm excited
really
about
hard.
this. Ghostface possibly being an MK1. I'm a Ghostface fan. I like the Scream franchise. That would be awesome. And the combos they can do with that, with the knife, oh man, that would be fun. And I know they're talking about Mike Myers as well from Halloween, but I'm more of a Scream Ghostface fan. It would be cool to see both, but if I had to choose one, it's definitely Ghostface.
But it also, you know, I think it also really doesn't hit for some people in some ways.
It was cool. I mean, it wasn't bad.
Like a 6.
It's just when you see Predator, even Alien, and then you know
like
Jason.
6. If it was Michael Myers,
wait,
I
what
think
did
it
he
would have hit a lot better. However,
did he say 6?
With the caveat, because Leatherface likely had some of the craziest gameplay of any character.
His gameplay made you laugh. The stuff you get to do with him.
This guy, he's got a chainsaw, and he's got all these other abilities. Like, what do we do with him?
How he's chainsaw, he goes like that. It was so weird.
Like even
but that's
crazier, I feel, than Alien and Jason and Predator. He is so much fun. He takes advantage of so many systems of Mortal Kombat X, because likely he was later in the development. He was like one of the last characters that showed up in the game. I even remember trying to wrap my head around it, and I'm like, dude, what is going on? And anybody that ends up playing this character is like, dude, he's so much fun. He's crazy fun. So we just gotta show that off. Yeah, this
I was like, Super got good content with him. Oh, okay.
He does so much crazy shit, and I think I mostly see the killer variation, the big chainsaw canceling one.
He was safe on a lot of those moves too. It looked slow, but he had time.
So even though I think Leatherface as a
it was fun. Like when you see stuff like this,
it makes sense. But I feel like there's so many other options.
Especially when he has the hammer. And I like the brutality. He just sits there, then he sees you on the floor.
Them going absolutely
that was fun
on his gameplay and making him just this crazy, fully realized character.
Was he better than the other ones? No, but it doesn't mean he was bad.
So if we complement those things and put them together, you know, I think it evens out around an 8, right? It does even out around like an 8 or 7.
I was saying 5 or 6.
Comparable to make him
because I'm putting Alien at 7. Alien is better than Mike Myers. So 7 or 8, I put Alien. So yeah, I'll just say 5 or 6. I'll put Leatherface. If for MKX alone, I would say Predator, then Jason, Alien, then Leatherface. All right, let's move on. I didn't want to sit here just to watch the whole video.
Kind of straightforward, you know? I think that leads us to Mortal Kombat 11, right? Mortal Kombat 11 happens, and they go guest character wild in this game.
I had fun
We
with their
get
guest
the
characters, bro.
T-800.
Terminator. The
Arnold
only downfall with
Schwarzenegger
Terminator was
himself
Arnold didn't voice it. It was
is
so weird to
literally
hear
a
this other
playable
voice
character. His
trying to sound like
likeness,
Terminator.
Not his voice.
Yeah.
Not his voice. But still,
You will be terminated. It sounds so weird.
No, just cybernetically enhanced. You will be terminated.
still,
His gameplay was a lot of
this
fun though.
being a reality,
His mix-up
the voice
was nice.
fine. Like, granted, I think the voice
And just
was
like Jason, the
fine.
thing about he had that same thing that I loved about Jason, where they kept it realistic. He made no noise when he got hit. If it was Terminator versus Terminator, it was the quietest match you had. No talk. Well, he did talk, but it was no grunting or nothing like that. I like those little details. Like it was just like Jason.
Just like, oh man, we're getting like Terminator Arnie playable in a fighting game. I think that is a 10 out of 10
Yeah,
situation. I really
honestly,
do.
my
I think
dad
it's
doesn't
like,
play video
wow,
games,
that's
but for him,
crazy,
he
man.
was
Like,
very happy to
granted,
see.
we have
That was
discovered-
one thing, and I'm gonna skip through it because we can, like I said, details. You want to know all the details? Definitely go support his channel. It's a 40-minute video. I don't want to make the video that long, but especially MK11. My dad doesn't play video games, but showing him Arnold Schwarzenegger, Stallone with Rambo, stuff like that, he was just into seeing the gameplay. And when he heard the actor's voice for RoboCop, he was like, "Oh my goodness!" It brought him down memory lane when he was in college, in high school, and watched these guys. He's a big fan of Commando, like Arnold Schwarzenegger, Stallone, RoboCop, all that stuff. He was a big fan of that, still is. So just the feeling of, wow, my favorite characters are in a video game, is what gives MK NetherRealm a lot of my respect. Is that, yes, it's a fighting game, but you also want to do something that bring people that don't even play fighting games in it, just so they can relive something of the past. And I think they did very well with this, MKX, and I believe they're going to do well with MK1. It's not really much of past characters this time with the MK1, Homelander, and them. It's more of today, our generation. But still, they do a good job bringing people in. That's good marketing. That's how you bring people in, just so, like my dad said, he was like, man, I would play Mortal Kombat 11 just to play as Rambo. You know what I'm saying? When I showed him a clip of someone playing Terminator versus RoboCop. He was laughing. He was like, that was something I used to talk about when I was in college. Like, dang, what would happen if RoboCop and Terminator fought? So just stuff like that is what makes it a 10 out of 10 for me of the characters they brought in here. Now, rating them, let's see for a minute.
Some things that are like caveats.
Spawn
in there.
is the
It
best
wasn't
one in here, in my
Terminator 1
opinion.
Or Terminator 2
All
version.
right, let's keep going.
Hold on a second. Wait for it.
Badass!
Like, actually seeing Terminator stuff was cool. It was
Yes.
cool seeing the endoskeleton underneath, right?
I hated the endoskeleton move. Oh man, they should have gave him
So
more.
he dies and he turns into the Terminator. It's like, whoa.
That
this
was
is so
cool,
sick. This was
but
like a really
it was one of the
expensive
worst
move,
moves in the
right?
game
This cost,
because you
like,
couldn't
several
really do
slots
anything.
or something like that. So cool. You rise from the dead just like Jason, right? Jason could do the same thing in Mortal Kombat X with limited health. The music kicks in.
But you could do more with Jason. You can get your health back.
What
You
do
can do
you get
moves
with
better
this?
than here.
Geek. Geek.
Yeah, and that was it.
It's terrible!
It was a terrible move. All right, let's move forward.
I think it balances out to like a 6. Who was the next one? Was Joker.
So he said a 6 is
Interesting.
Terminator.
He's like, there's a worse Jason. Like, all that stuff sort of compiles and adds together, and I think it balances out to like a 6. Who was the next one? Was Joker. Does anyone remember the first one? Oh,
Really good.
Man. Does anyone remember Mike Matei Joker?
Oh yeah, people did not like that. I
remember
didn't.
this.
I mean,
They
it wasn't
changed
a
his
problem.
face,
It
granted.
did raise an
They did
eyebrow when I
eventually
first saw it.
make
I
him
was
look
like,
crazier.
different
They
look,
did- they
but
did change his face a bit.
yeah, that's a lot
But
better.
the first Joker face was.
I thought they was
great.
going a younger version,
not
like a
great, buddy.
20-year-old Joker. I thought that's what they was
I
trying to
did
do.
not. I was like,
But
what are we
no,
looking
there they
at
go.
here, dude?
That one was better.
What's going on, man? If they could take a DC bad guy and stick them into Mortal Kombat,
Joker.
dude, the Joker is perfect.
Yes.
It's perfect, man.
He fit perfectly
What a
for. I
cool
mean, I
idea.
love the
Joker,
intros,
yeah,
the
'cause
design.
You can kill the Joker and nobody feels bad about that. You can rip his head off. That's fine.
Yeah, I mean, it's whatever.
Those blades, those teeth.
Realizing the ways I can kill you.
The bucks I'll make selling them in Gotham.
I love this friendship too. The little
Joker
cameo
just
with
fits
Batman,
perfectly
that
in
was
Mortal
cool. The little
Kombat.
Batarang.
It really does.
And he says, "Come on,
I
bats."
think this character's inclusion is another like 10 out of 10 situation.
Yes, there we go.
Brilliant, so smart, like such a cool idea.
All right, so me and Max is like on the same level because I said Predator, Spawn, and Joker. He didn't talk about Spawn yet, but the three that I've chosen are all 10 out of 10s. And
he's actually kind
so
of a
far,
fun character. And
two of the characters I've chosen the same ratings I have.
There is few characters in MK11 that left me like, oh, I'm kind of having fun here with this character. I enjoyed my time with Joker.
Yes.
Was it a character that I wanted to invest a ton of a ton of time into? It didn't end up being that, but I legit had a good time with him. I think if there's two characters that stand out the most in MK11 in terms of gameplay, it was probably Sindel and Joker. Because Joker was fun, and I think his realization
Sindel was really
game,
good,
like, look at the
but
way
I
he
would put
looks, the way
Spawn
he
in front of
animates.
her.
He's so much better than...
All right, let's move on.
I have to give like pure 10 out of 10 goes to
Spawn.
Dimitri Vegas, and I just can't believe that they made this possible.
I forgot all about that.
Gameplay and visuals and his voice. Also, they put Spawn in the game.
There we go.
Also, yes, Spawn showed up at some point, and finally became a playable character in.
I'm curious to see what rating he gives this.
10. Easily, that's a 10.
I like that. Easily. Wait, first off, let's go back to that Sub-Zero. Who is that? I gotta research who that is because I forgot all about that skin. But I remember when it first. But now I've seen it. I'm like, when it first came out, I'm like, wait, who?
Put Spawn in the game.
I didn't realize I was playing online and I saw this Sub-Zero and I didn't realize it till he started talking. And then I'm like, who is this? I'm just now knowing that was his name. But when I was playing online, I'm like, wait, who is this? That's not Sub-Zero's voice. And then you see the character model. I'm like, am I missing something? Who is this person? Now they said the name. Okay, well, I mean that's pretty cool to be in a Mortal Kombat game. I just didn't know who that was. But Spawn easily 10 out of 10.
Finally became a playable character in Mortal Kombat. Yeah, that's a 10. Easily, that's a 10.
Yes.
I have such a love-hate relationship with this character, man. So much of this is just every time I look at this.
Sick, bro.
It makes me so happy.
Yes.
It's so goddamn cool.
I just want to see what it makes it hate.
Probably one of the best realizations of this character.
They got Keith David back.
Only if you follow my lead. All due respect, that's not in the cards.
Perfect, bro.
I can't even.
I loved his movesets
I still
too.
put myself in the situation where I was like, dude. I mean, it's great.
One of the best fatalities.
Everybody knows it's a 10 out of 10. Spawn being an MK, anybody that's over the age of like 25, it's a 10 out of 10.
Yes.
I was like, dude, I'm like waiting for my character in MK. I'm like, this is it. Oh God, like MK11 was a game where I just could not settle on a character. Nobody was super fun to me. I had some fun with Joker. I had some fun using other characters. I just was not ready to like invest time into anybody in the game. And I was like, dude, it's gonna be Spawn. It's gonna happen. Spawn is going to be that character. I was so ready that this was gonna be it. This is 10 out of 10. I'm finally gonna find something I absolutely love to play about MK11. And look how cool this stuff is, man.
Yes, I love his gameplay.
It is so cool. And then you play the guy, and it's like a 6. It's the most harsh reality kicking in.
I liked it. I don't know. I disagree.
So much of this was exactly like what we wanted. It was literally such perfect execution on so many fronts. And he's just like a super heavy, super slow, meandering, doesn't have that many strings. Some of it, the only thing that was really cool about him was the one variation where you could make your crushing blows like combo into multiple.
Shout out to Super. He showed that multiple times. That was really cool. And he ended with a brutality
combo, but only once, right? He can only do it once. That was the best version of the most fun to be had with Spawn, in my opinion. All that really ended up happening like after you play him and everything's so sick looking, but then you kind of, I don't think I'm having that much fun with this character.
Wow.
It's making me like wish that this guy was in Mortal Kombat X.
I enjoyed it.
Ultimately, like,
I would say it would have been better if he was in Mortal Kombat X. but
No,
still,
dude,
I think
like,
he was just fine for
he's
me.
really not that fun to play. He's got some fun stuff in general, but because of the system mechanics, you know.
I was about to say
MK,
the way he fit perfectly for how MK11 played. I always have to remember that. That's why I don't compare the characters when it comes to combos and all that. I don't compare that. I don't compare them with each other, MKX to MK11, because they're totally different. MKX still has the best combo style ever in all the Mortal Kombat. MK9 is close, but MKX is there. Even with MK1 being out, MK1's really good, but MKX still holds the title. The way you can mix up the combos, everything when it comes to combo gameplay. Oh, I'm just talking about that. MKX holds the title. So yes, Spawn's not gonna beat a character at MKX like Predator, for example. Doesn't mean for what MK11 has to offer, Spawn wasn't really good with his gameplay. For what MK11 had to offer, Spawn fit, in my opinion, very well. Over a 6. In my just my opinion.
It makes it really hard to really enjoy his toolkit in some way. So to me, 10 out of 10, because it's Spawn in Mortal Kombat, it's just like a 10 out of 10. I'm wild about it. Gameplay ended up being like a 6. Here's what's nuts. I still want to balance that out to like an 8. I don't want to give him a 7. I still want to give him an 8 because I think his realization in this game is actually like crazy. It's not the game that I wanted him to be in, but goddamn, the way they nailed something.
All right, this video's gonna be
so
long
cool.
anyway. Sorry, I tried.
Figuring out the way. The full combo day one.
Oh, here we
I
go.
think the first
This was
crushing
really
blow is
good.
sick. Second crushing blow, sick. Third crushing blow, sick. Fourth crushing blow, sick.
The fatal
Into
blow.
Super. It's so sick, man. Look how incredibly cool this is, dude.
Yeah. And I think you can go longer with that crushing blow. I think did he miss the shooting the knees, because that's a crushing blow.
Copies. No wonder. Just look at this.
I'm trying to remember.
Man. Just look
I think
at
it was
this
long. It was a
game.
longer one
So
you could do too.
RoboCop's like childhood
By a little
icon
bit, but yeah.
for several people. Myself, all of you, anybody that's.
I thought he was cool.
This is just absolute premium, like 80s fan.
But yeah, I think it was in the same level as Leatherface to me. He was cool. He's just not top tier. He was cool to see, like, just as a fan of RoboCop, and people was complaining about the zoning. I mean, it's RoboCop. Well, I don't know what people expected. That's his style. But he has some good moves up close if you know how to do it right. But he was meant to zone with.
Them cheese characters showing up. Like, here's the thing. Yeah, RoboCop is like
I
a
wish
9
Fujin
out of
was in
10.
MK1.
Like, God damn, this is gonna be so sick. Even before RoboCop, we knew any move he had in the game, before we knew anything he could do gameplay-wise, you heard the idea of RoboCop being in Mortal Kombat 11 and immediately feeling disappointment. Simply because it's like, what is he gonna do? Just shoot you? That's exactly.
Yeah, I knew a lot of people that was complaining about it. Me, I'm the kind of person I like to see it first before I complain. Like try it for myself, and when I tried it, I liked it. He's not better than Spawn or Joker, but he was still fun.
He shoots you in the dick.
I like Rambo better too.
So
Rambo was
even
fun.
before we
I enjoy it. If you know how to
that
use
RoboCop
Rambo,
was, like,
it's a lot of
confirmed that
fun.
It was rumored ahead of time. There was already like an era, like a wafting funk of like, oh man, that guy's gonna be annoying as shit. He's gonna be so goddamn. He's gonna be slow and annoying, and he's gonna have crazy zoning, and that's literally exactly what he.
I mean,
I think
if you see
RoboCop
RoboCop, I don't know what
is a
people
proper,
expected. Of course, he was going to zone.
Like 9 out of 10 kind of reveal. Like, this also allows for this to happen. This becomes a reality.
Yes.
RoboCop versus Terminator.
That's what I said. NetherRealm knows what they're doing, and it's smart.
Classic matchup.
My dad saw this and was loving it. And my dad doesn't play video games,
Because
but him
RoboCop
just
versus
seeing
Terminator was a
Terminator
huge
versus
crossover comic
RoboCop.
in
Come
the
on
90s,
now.
you know? Unfortunately, yeah, RoboCop shares some sort of like similarities to Terminator, just in terms of like, oh, I was hoping they would do something interesting with him, and they just don't, right?
Terminator was interesting.
They end up making him kind of like basic and straightforward and simple, and he does exactly.
I will
what you
say
think
though,
he would
because
do,
people
and he
always
really
complain
doesn't do
about
much
that,
else.
was he's so simple. Sometimes characters need that. Every character doesn't need to go crazy. Like when Garrus in MK1, he's someone very unique. Every character's not going to be that though, because they like, well, Scorpion is so simple. Well, everybody doesn't want to sit there and laugh for hours to learn every little crazy thing that like Garrus can do, for example. You have to please everybody. Some people want to be an expert in using a character that's very simple. So this whole notion, not with him, but other people are saying like, oh, it's so simple. Well, every character can't be Garrus or whoever that takes time to learn. I don't know. You got to please everybody.
I think gameplay-wise, like RoboCop is arguably, geez, man, like maybe a 4. Like if you want
a 4,
like,
I had him at a
2
5 or
tiers
6 because
playing
he's
this
at the
guy.
middle,
I think
like
RoboCop
Leatherface.
was, like, one of the first.
All right, let's move forward.
The dopest thing in the world, and for others, it's going to be really bad. For me, it was completely mid, right? Just. I felt like it's the most like 7 out of 10 sort of character review.
I agree.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Rambo,
It's
yeah,
cool
that's
to
a
see,
good rate.
like,
That's a good
you
one.
know, 80s action stars, because that's
Stallone versus Schwarzenegger, which is cool.
Mortal Kombat 11, RoboCop versus Rambo versus Terminator. So I really appreciate that. That's where they go with all of this. I actually think that is
Nether Rambo
really
always
cool
get the nod
way
from
of
me
doing
for
it.
these guest characters they put in here. The only thing with Rambo that was annoying
Rambo,
was his
I
reach.
feel like hits the least of all of those. You know, he fits. Don't get me wrong. He definitely fits.
For this playstyle of
also
MK11, I
rumors
always remember that
of-
when it comes to characters, you gotta look at the game you're playing. For MK11, he fit. You know,
Ash, right? From
his
Evil
combos
Dead
worked for
being
MK11.
in Mortal Kombat 11 as well. That might have been cool, right? I think that might have been a bit more
Wait, what?
exciting. Hits the least of all of those. You know, he fits. Don't get me wrong. He definitely fits. But there was also rumors of Ash, right, from Evil Dead.
Yeah,
being
everybody
in
kept saying that. And I'm
Mortal
like,
Kombat 11 as
Ash
well.
is going to be in
That
the
might have
game?
been
Someone was so
cool,
certain.
right? I think that might have been a bit more exciting just in general, although a little bit more niche, not entirely, because it's still a very popular character. I still think overall Rambo showing up is like a 7.
I agree. All right.
But I think gameplay-wise, he was kind of fun.
I enjoyed
Right?
him.
There were some parts of his gameplay that I didn't absolutely hate. He does use a gun in some ways.
Oh, yeah, that like machine gun was bad. But, I mean, outside his gameplay as a whole was good. I would say 7. 7 out of 10. All right. Well, I don't want to make this video too long. So, saying that already. It's already long. But thank y'all for tuning in. Let me know what you think. I know I said a lot. Shout out to Maximilian, dude. Again, subscribe to him if you like this content. Definitely, I love watching him. So definitely want to give a shout out to him. And here's the video. Rate the guess. If you want to watch it straight through. Mortal Kombat series. There we go right there. It was 4 weeks ago. And yeah. Oh, hold up. Let me leave a like. But yeah, and if you can leave a like on this video, I would appreciate it. And subscribe if you're new. But thank y'all so much for tuning in. Let me know what y'all think in the comments below. And I look forward to seeing the guest characters for MK1. We'll see how that turns out. But I'll check y'all later. See ya.